This process started when I was probably 5 years old. God's put this calling on my heart to adopt. That was just my dream.
When she was younger, she would always say, "Can't we adopt a kid with Down syndrome or a baby with Down syndrome?" I didn't know, it was such a big desire in her heart until they started going through the process and things. So.
And I got married to my husband, Shelby. Shelby went on a hunting trip and he spent a week in the woods, and then he came home and he's like, "I really feel that God's calling us to adopt a baby with Down syndrome." So it was like exactly what I was feeling, and it just was affirming. So we took classes to become certified, and somehow I got an email from the head of the National Down Syndrome Adoption Network, and she recommended Lutheran Family Services. Went with them and got home study approved. And
Lutheran Family Services begins with families at the beginning process of training, of home studies, and getting families ready and prepared for children. We then do post-placement. And what post-placement means for us is that as long as you need us, and for as many times as you need us, we're going to be available to you. And working through that whole process and getting them ready for finalization and being their forever family.
so we got on the registry specifically for Down syndrome, and then our eyes were just open to there's just so much more need than Down syndrome, you know? So somehow got connected with a lady named Stacy, and Stacy was like, "Well, I do have a 1.5-year-old with DeGeorge syndrome, if you're interested in learning about him." And we've been researching and preparing for Down syndrome for so many years. So to have a new diagnosis of DeGeorge syndrome, which is also a chromosomal abnormality, there's a lot of things in common, but it's a unique syndrome. Joshua was in a different state. He was in Nevada, and he had been in the ICU his entire life. Up to that point, he was almost 2. He's just such an incredible kid. It was just very surreal of not feeling worthy to parent this incredible child.
Josh was amazing, and I see him every month. So I've seen him for probably 6 months, and from the first time I saw him, he had a very kind of dull affect, till I see him every month and I see how he changes, and he wants to be with his family, he wants to be with people, which is amazing for a child, frankly, whose attachment had to be somewhat delayed and interfered with by not having a family for so long.
He loves music. He just loves music. So he dances and he's just always smiling. He's just a different little guy.
I always wanted a brother. He just learned how to talk, so he makes cute noises.
And he likes to hold hands with you and he lets you hold him.
I'm really thankful for him.
Renee has been over the top helpful, and she's going to the hospital and picking up meds for us. Like, she goes out of her way to help us out. We're very blessed to have the community we have. It's just the best thing that's ever happened to us, and this is just life now, and we're so grateful.